Hello everyone, greetings of the day. Welcome you all for the 14th video of learning Swift programming language. These are the topics that we have covered from video 1 to 4 and here the video 5 to 8, 9 to 12 and in the video 13. Let's move towards the today's topic. The first topic that we are going to see is UI activity view controller. That is from our application if we want to share something. This UA activity view controller will automatically give us functionality to share some photos or anything to iMessages or via Facebook, Twitter, or if you want to save images to photo library and more we can do with this UI activity view controller. Let's see this in code. The next topic that we are going to see is delegation. Delegation is a concept like sitting back waiting and somebody will told when and what to do. This will be confusing, but I'll try to make it understand easily. Okay. In order to understand the delegation, consider this general example. For a company, it will be having a job description and it will be providing the title for the job as like this. For example, if you want to create an application and upload in App Store, that is a job description. For that job description, we are providing the title as iOS developer. And as a candidate, you can apply for the job and you can explain how to do the job. So when you get recruited, after that, whenever the company provide the job orders, immediately you can do the job as explained here. Consider the same example and I will explain this in code now. In this example, we'll be having two screens. In the first screen, I'll be having a label and the main button. This I have linked to this view controller class, and in the second screen I have button 1 and button 2. So these button actions I have been linked to this second view controller class. So whenever I press the main button, it navigates to this second view controller. Here is the code for that. The main label I have been linked here and the main button pressed I have been linked for this action. Again for the second view controller, two buttons, that is the B1 and B2, that buttons I have been linked to this IB action here. So let's consider with that example. So this protocol here I have explained. This is the job description. So in detail I didn't describe anything, only the what all need to be app need to be developed, app need to be uploaded in App Store like that only I have been explained here. So this is a protocol job description, consider like that. Here that protocol I have been added to the delegate variable. Consider this as an job title. So job description and job title. So these are the first and second thing that I have explained here. So the job description is this protocol and consider this delegate as the position, that is the job title, and then for the candidate we can go to this first view controller. See, this is like adapting protocol for this view controller is like applying for the job. For that position we are applying and how to do the job. So if I adapt this protocol, I need to be mandatorily explain this method. See, for this protocol I have mentioned the method name here. So that method I need to explain here. So that is like I'm applying for the position, that is for this view controller, and explaining how to do the job here. And then here is the recruiting happening. So when I click on the main button pressed, it will move to the second VC. To this view controller it will be moving, and in this view controller I have explained about this delegate variable. So the next VC dot delegate equal to self. So this self means for this view controller. I'm considering this view controller as a delegate for this second view controller. On behalf of second view controller, the view controller can act. That is what this delegate is meaning. So consider this as an recruitment. So after this, now this delegate has a value. Initially I have mentioned here as an optional, so that you are having the question mark here. Now I got the value. Then if I call nextvc dot new func, this will be immediately called. In this case, delegate dot first function, I'm providing the new function as the string. In this case, this method calling will get executed. Likewise, if I press the button B1 and B2 while calling the delegate dot first function, immediately the first function explained in the class view controller got executed. I will run this and explain. As I said before, this delegate will act as a bridge between the first screen and the second screen. In the first screen, I have a label and the main button. So if I press the main button, it will move to the second screen. So here I have explained the perform segue. But before moving to the second screen, I'm making the delegate here as self and I'm calling a function as well. So while calling this function, it will reach here and this delegate dot first function will be called and making this label as new function. As I mentioned here, this label will be replaced to this new function. Let's see that. So if I click on the main button, immediately it moves to the second screen. And when I click on the back button, you see the label is transformed to this new function. Likewise, here I have mentioned two buttons, that is the button 1 and button 2. Again, if I press on the button 1, again in the first screen, the label will be changed. See here, this function will be called and the label will be changed to B1 button. So if I press the button 2, the label will be changed to B2 button and I'm navigating to the first view controller. See, if I click on the button 1, B1 button, this has been changed. Again, I'm going back to the main button and clicking on the button 2. Again, B2 button, this will become the label and then the pop view controller makes it back to the first screen. This is the delegate thing. So with the help of delegate, it acts as a bridge between the two screens. That is, this view controller is acting on behalf of this second view controller. In the second view controller only we are calling the function, but the changes is happening in this view controller, that is the first screen. So we are selecting the button, everything in the second screen, but based on that action the changes is happening in the first screen. So this is what I explained with the delegation. So delegation you can consider simply as an job thing. So here we have described the job description. This is the job title. You are applying for the job and how to do the job you have explained here, and this is the recruiting point, mark to self, that is you are recruited. This is on behalf of this second view controller. Now this view controller is acting. So if there is any work allotted, that is delegate dot this is the work allotting. So if any work allotted, immediately here it will be executed. That is, for the button actions or whatever the things what we do in the second screen, the changes will happen in the first screen. This is about the delegation. You understand the core thing about delegation. The implementation of this delegation will happen based on the project requirements, and it's a vast thing. The next topic that we are going to learn is browser in app. That is, we have seen that while we open some of the applications, immediately some URL will be rendering. That is, we have an website kind of thing, and the same website we can render inside our application. For example, if we want to show some forms or some other things that we have already in our websites into our mobile applications, we can just use the URL and show in our application. Let's see how to do that in code. See, I have taken the website of a Rolex watch, and whenever I open the application, I want to see the website of this Rolex watch. So for that, see, I didn't touch anything on this storyboard. Nothing I have did on the storyboard part. So I directly came to this view controller. Initially, I imported this WebKit. That is, this is the first thing we need to do. In order to render a URL into our application, we need to first import this WebKit. After that, I'm providing a variable for this WK web view and then overriding the function of load view. So this load view we can able to use anywhere within this class, but this load view will load before this view did load. So that's why I have provided here. We have seen that before. Whenever we open an application, the first thing will load in our application is this view did load. But in this case, this load view will happen before this view did load. And here what I have made is web view is equal to wk web view. So here is the screen I'm providing. That is, I have an application. Inside that application, the whole screen I'm giving for URL to render. And wk.navigation delegate equal to self. This is the place where delegation is happening. If I didn't mention this protocol, I will hit with an error, because in order to provide wk.webview.navigation delegate equal to self, I need to be assigned with this protocol. In this case, this view controller is acting on behalf of this navigation delegate. So if there is any navigation of URL is happening, any URL we are loading means, in that case, this view controller will act as a delegate on behalf of the rendering. So if I execute this, see here, I didn't check only this much of code, come entirely the website of this Rolex watches I'm getting here. So you can scroll if you want. After in this view did load part, I'm providing the URL. See, in the string here, I'm providing this URL. Here you can provide any URL that you want to show. After that, I'm converting this string into a URL for website. After that, I'm force unwrapping here, and this is the place where I'm entering. That is, when you type a URL request and if you press on the enter, it will load, right? So that is what happening here. So here I have provided a URL, and that URL I'm passing into this URL request and loading in this web view, so that while open our application, immediately this website gets rendered. Likewise, see the allow back forward navigation gesture equal to true I have made. So if I click any of the sites here, it will load like this. And if I swap, see, in order to make this happen, I have mentioned w webview dot allow back forward navigation gesture equal to true. So if I click on something, it will go into that page and I can do this. This is about the rendering a URL in application. With this, we are wrapping the session for today. Thank you.